Good morning, students. So, in our third standard, we want to remain one more chapter. Okay, last chapter we can't complete. Okay, so that chapter is data handling. What is data? Anybody know what is data? Data is collection of information. Different information we can collect. Okay, that we can say as data. Now, suppose one example. Through one example, you can clear it. Suppose if you want to know the number of vehicles, different vehicles. So I selected three vehicles here. One is car, bus and scooters. Okay. If we want to know how many cars or how many buses, how many scooters passes through the road in front of through our gate. Okay. If we are standing in front of our gate, so when we count how many buses are passes through that way. Okay, if we take that in 1 hour, if we are observing that in 1 hour or half an hour, so in that hour how many buses passes through that road or how many cars passes through that road or scooters. Okay, these three vehicles we are counting. Okay, so first suppose you started counting and you marked the time. You started that at 8 o'clock. Okay, 8 a.m. you started to count the vehicles. So different vehicles we are counting. So first suppose one car passed through that way. Then you want to mark one stroke here. This like one line you want to mark there. Okay. So if the next vehicle is, if it is again car, suppose the second vehicle also car, so again you can mark here another marker. Okay, another line. Then next time the vehicle is bus. So in that column we can mark that. Okay. Then if it is the next one is scooter, then we are marking that column. Just like we are counting up to 8:30 a.m. In 1 hour we are counting the number of vehicles. Suppose you mark like this. You first if you got 4 cars. Next we want to care. If the fifth car passes, then you want to mark like this. Through this 4 you want to strike this like 1. Okay, so fifth we are drawing like this. Not in that way. Suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not that way. Fifth vehicle. If the same vehicle here pass, then fifth mark you want to mark like this. Cross that 4 strikes. Okay. Then suppose next 6. Now it is how many? Now this one is group of 5. Next car you can mark next group 1. Then 2, 3, 4. Now fifth again another strike. Now total how many cars passes through that way in that hour, in half an hour up to 8:30. Now 10 cars pass through that way. Now suppose you counted the number of buses. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 buses only now. Okay, in that too, half an hour only passes 4 buses in that way. Next scooters when we count, suppose you marked 1, 2, 3, 4. Then fifth one we want to mark like this. Okay, then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, next 11, 12, 13. Okay, then 14, 15 like this. Then 16, 17. Okay, now it is very easy to count this number of cars and buses and scooters. Now easily you can say how many cars pass through that way. Here 1, 5, another 5, total 10. Then how many buses pass through that? Only 4 buses pass through that way. Then scooters 5, next another 5, 10, then 15, 17. Total how many scooters pass through that way? 17 scooters. This type of drawing table is called tally chart. Now this mark is called, if we are marking this one here, it is called one tally. What is that? Tally. Tally mark. What is that mark is called a tally mark. And drawing this type of or making this type of columns, then drawing this type of tally mark, we can say that it is a tally chart. So it is called a tally chart. In this way we can collect informations, collect data very easily. Okay, when we look at this table, we can count very fast how many cars pass through that way, how many scooters pass through that way. Now we can answer for the questions, which vehicle pass through that way more. Which vehicle pass through that way? Scooter. More scooters are there. How many? 17 scooters are there. And which vehicle is less number? Buses. How many are there? 4 only. Okay. Now how many cars? 5, 10, 11. 5, 10. Just mark there. 5 and 10. So 10 cars pass through that way. So this type of making chart is called a tally chart. Okay, so this we want to care. Every fifth stroke we are crosses for the next previous 4. Okay, fifth we want to mark like this. So all of you clear what is about tally chart? Now you take your textbook and I will give one example in that. You can do that very easily and we can answer for the questions also. Okay, page number 130. You look here. 2 girls count the number of men and women who go into the public library during half an hour as part of their maths project. This is what they recorded in their notebook. Okay, into a library, some men and women are entering in 1 hour, during half an hour as part of their maths project. 2 girls are taking data, okay, as the maths project. How many men came to the library? And next another 2 girls are there. One is collecting data, how many men enter to the library, and the second girl is marking how many women enter into the library. Now you look there. First they mark like this. They are marking each tally 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth one they mark like this as a cross mark. Now we can count how many men enter to the library. You look, this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. Okay, just like how many women? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Okay, now you can mark here how many men went into the library, how many women went into the library. You can mark here. Okay, just like another representation also there, data representation, pictograph is there. Pictograph, that is also very easy. Suppose that same example we are marking. You look here, a pictograph drawn by the boys is instead of drawing tally mark, we are drawing a picture. Any picture we can draw. So suppose here for that same data collecting car, buses, scooter, you look, they marked for one car, they represent this one square. What is this square represented? One car. Okay, so how many cars are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 cars are there. Now how many buses are there? So each square represent each that vehicle. So one vehicle, one square represent one vehicle. So when we draw pictograph in front of, on the top we want to mark which picture you are drawing. Any picture you can take. Okay, so that picture, draw that picture, then represent how many vehicle. So we can represent for 2 vehicle also, we can represent any figure. One example I will show later. So this is pictograph, and that in that pictograph one picture represents what? Here what is the picture? Square. That square represents One vehicle. So how many cars are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many buses? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how many scooters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now you can answer this question also. Which is the first question? Which type of vehicle passed by the school gate in maximum number? So that you want to answer, look in this. Look in this chart, you can answer that pictograph. Okay, next, which type of vehicle passed by in the least number? Which vehicle is least number? ഏറ്റവും കുറവ് നമ്പറുള്ള വെഹിക്കിൾ ഏതാണ് അതിൽ പാസ് ചെയ്തത്? നെക്സ്റ്റ്, ഹൗ മെനി സ്കൂട്ടേഴ്സ് പാസ്ഡ് ബൈ ദ ഗേറ്റ് ഇൻ ഹാഫ് ആൻ അവർ? ഓക്കെ, എത്ര സ്കൂട്ടേഴ്സ് ആണ് ആ ഹാഫ് ആൻ അവറിൽ അതിൽ പാസ് ചെയ്തത്? അപ്പം നമുക്ക് ജസ്റ്റ് വി വാണ്ട് ടു കൗണ്ട് ഹൗ മെനി ഫിഗേഴ്സ് ആർ ദർ. Okay, so what was the total number of vehicles that passed by the gate in half an hour? For that, what we want to do? Add this full. So you will count how many cars, how many buses, how many scooters. You can take their total numbers and you can answer here. Okay, so this is mean by data handling, and we just discussed about tally, chart, and what is this? Mark is called tally mark, and this representation of this type is called a tally chart. And pictograph also we just discussed, and you want to do this as homework. Okay, so to remaining we can take in the next class. Okay, thank you.